Hey, it's Schande! So it's been a pretty long time since I've made a Cocktails episode, so I figured since I'm bored right now and I didn't have much better to do, I'd tell you a story about something that happened to me this past year at FWA. And no, I didn't miss Mangoose's dance again. That was last year's story, links up above. I got to see him dance this year and he did absolutely amazing. It was awesome to see. Now honestly, FWA was a really awesome con. I had a great time. But there's one thing that sticks out in my mind because it was actually kind of terrifying. So without further ado, here is my scary experience from FWA 2018. So it was Saturday night and it was before the dance competition, so me and my friends wanted to go get some dinner before we went and all watched the dance competition together. So we ate at the Metro Cafe, which is that little place kind of up the street from the Marquee. And so we all ate there, and we all had a good time. And I decided that I was going to leave early, because I had already eaten and paid my ticket and everything. I was going to go ahead and leave so I can go to my room and kind of get ready before the dance competition started. So I left by myself, which, spoiler alert, wasn't a good idea. I'm pretty sure I was wearing my tail in the restaurant, so whenever I left, this guy kind of stopped me and started striking up conversation. You know, he's like, "Oh, I see these people here every year. I think it's pretty cool." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." He kind of asked me what was going on, and I kind of I had explained the best I could, you know, about the convention and who we were as a fandom and blah 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 blah. So we kind of walked down the street towards the hotel, and right before we get to the hotel, he drops the bombshell. He goes, "So I'm homeless, and I wonder if there is some kind of blessing you could give me." Which is, you know, a nice way to say, "Hey, give me money." So here I am, he's saying that, and I'm like, fuck. To be quite honest, to be completely truthful, I didn't have any cash on me. I don't like carrying cash. But then, of course, he says, "Oh, there's no worries. There's an ATM right in the hotel." So I'm like, oh my god. And of course, like, I'm completely by myself. There's no one else around me to like help me out of the situation. So I'm like, well, okay. I guess we'll go to the ATM. So he starts walking with me towards the hotel, and I'm looking back and forth for like anybody who I know, so I could like try to strike up a conversation and try to lose this guy, because he's like walking really close to me, like kind of like, I guess, trying to make sure that, you know, he didn't lose me or something. So so we kind of get to the hotel, and I try to say, like, you know, wait right here, I'll be right back and I'll get you some cash. And then I was going to like try to walk in and lose him in the hotel, except he follows me into the hotel. Like I can't shake this guy. He won't leave me alone. So at this point, I'm like terrified. I'm like how I can't get rid of him. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm looking back and forth. There's not a security guard in sight. So I walk up to the front desk, and I ask him, like, "Hey, where's the ATM?" So they point me to the ATM, and I try to like make some kind of like facial expression, something that would say like, "Hey, help," but it didn't work. So I go over to the ATM, and keep in mind, I don't have a whole lot of money with me at the time, because, you know what, it's a convention, and at that point, you know, I'm kind of running low on the funds there. So I start I start pulling cash out of the ATM, and he's watching me the entire time. Like, not only was I terrified, now I'm like incredibly uncomfortable, because like you know, like, there's no escape from this. So of course, as with most ATMs, the minimum I can do is $20, which is like literally all I have for the rest of the week. So I pull the 20 out, but I don't give it to him. I go to the little gift shop over there, and I'm like, "Hey, can you make some change for me?" So he breaks it up into a 10 and 2 5s, and I give the guy a 5, because that's about as much as I could like give before I didn't have anything for myself. And then like, instead of like saying thank you or something, he like continues to press on and try to get me to give him more money, and I'm like, dude, this is all I can do. Like, I'm sorry, but like, stop. Eventually, he finally left, and I went back up to the room, and I was like really beating myself up because I was like, I shouldn't have gone alone. I could have prevented this situation. Blah blah blah. But I eventually just kind of shook it off, went to the dance competition, and had a great time. So yeah, that was a pretty scary moment for me during the convention. And lesson learned is don't go anywhere by yourself, especially in a big and somewhat dangerous city like Atlanta. Well, that's all the time I have for you right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit, and I will see you in the next video. But until then, boop!